Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. I've prepared something truly special for you, a super accurate, almost personal pick-a-card reading channel straight from Spirit. We'll be asking exactly where you'll meet your life partner, diving into vivid descriptions, telltale signs, and even geographical locations to guide you. First, take a deep breath with me. In and out. Just relax and really savor this moment. Turn off distractions, grab your favorite tea, and allow your intuition to lead. Now gaze intuitively at the screen and the card options I've laid out. Trust that inner nudge which calls to you. Don't be shy. If more than one pulls to your heart, go ahead and watch them all. Each selection comes personalized with numerology, your alphabet, a personalized message, and the geographical location of your person. The timestamps are below in the comments as well as the description box. And if you'd like to know more about me and my channel, information will be available after the video. If you feel pulled to more than one, don't feel shy. Listen to them all. Spirit messages are meant to flow freely. There's also a bonus mystery card because Spirit said there needed to be a wild card. And take your time to make your selections. We'll get started with selection A. Okay, for selection A, we are getting to your message and your location. Just a moment. I also have some tarot cards here for you, and I hope they all go this pleasantly. So thank all of you guys for tuning in, and don't be impatient. Don't rush ahead. The individual readings, because it's like 20 something of them, they're all very special and personalized. So you can sit through, a couple of minutes to get this information. Now, I think you'll be pleased to know that for some of you, this is a very homey type feeling, okay? It reminds me, when I said homie, it was like, the hip hop song, The Homie Lover Friend. It could be something as simple as that. I will say that the Six of Cups is next to best when we're talking about lovers because, it's connected to the number 6 and the Lover's card. But it's just so sweet because it's nostalgic, okay? There may be just like a teeny tiny age difference because traditionally there's like an older male, a younger female in the card. It's also memory lane. It talks about childhoods and hometowns. Okay, so don't get discouraged if you're like, well, I feel like I'm marrying some. I want to get away from this place. Just be patient and trust Spirit like I do. So hometowns are important. This card would also include childhood sweethearts, but if that doesn't resonate with you, don't be disappointed. It just gives that rom-com sort of in lovey-dovey, kind of feeling. Now, when the Four of Swords came out, it's very relaxing, meditative, and restful. So for some of you, this relationship or marriage will feel like a sanctuary. You could even meet this person in a place like that. So just keep that in mind because that's very significant to both of these two cards combined. Now, the King of Cups, oh my God, emotional mastery and compassion. I definitely love that. It represents someone who has strong emotions but doesn't get overwhelmed by them and would be very empathetic, wise, and balanced. Acting as a guide or a counsel, even a protector. So it's kind of like you'll see this person as your sanctuary, or for some of you, that may be how they see you. Now, the healing centers, spiritual sanctuaries, and therapy offices, group A, that could be a very significant sign or clue, okay? You or this person may have some experiences in those areas, and that could also be a meeting place for you all. So just imagine that is so like rom-com-y, like two people meeting up because of similar situations, and they just remind each other of, the love that we all anticipated at an early age. I think that is so beautiful. So without further ado, A, you also have the number 1. The number one is connected to like the magician. The magician is the one in tarot. That's how I learned it. Can't nobody disagree with me. Now, for your location, I was surprised because before I even started the video, Spirit said Alabama, and I was like, Spirit, just because there's an A, are you serious? And I just pawned it off because I hadn't even looked at you guys' card, right? So then I pull up the card, and Mississippi is like dead smack in my face. So Group A, you could resonate with a Southern belle. I don't, okay, because you may not call guys bells, but he's very charming. He, she, whatever you into. I'm from the South, so I know. Okay, so there's that. Could also be a water sign, but this is not a zodiac reading at all. It's just follow your intuition and pull the things that could be significant to you. But this is a Scorpio energy. Also, just water sign or someone who may have a water moon. Okay, so if your husband or wife turns out to be any sign, they may have the archetype, emotionally and romantically as a King of Cups. But that is cray. I was like, Spirit, who meeting somebody in Alabama? I'm from Texas, so who am I to talk, right? So yeah, and then you have the compass focusing on north and south direction. So it could be north of or slightly south of. And I'm looking at this area. Forgive me, okay? I made great grades in school, but it's like what state is like slightly right of Mississippi? This could also be significant. And I also see like your guys' car is very specific to being like half and half, right? So this person may be very willing to meet you halfway, or it's like a border of some sort. Like you're here, they're there. If your town or this location is at the border of two states, that could also be significant. So thank you, Group A, for sitting in with us. And your message is, Spirit said to relax. Wow. Okay. That's super sweet. All right, Group B, thank you guys for tuning in. I also have a few tarot cards for you and this union. So be patient. The readings aren't very long. You can sit through just a couple of messages and we'll get to your personal message as well as your geographical location. I think that is super cool. What I like the most about you guys' selection is all of the signs point to the same direction. Because I won't lie and say I wasn't just a tad bit nervous. I was like, okay, I can channel the messages, but I'm also going to use divination tools. And would it be like confusing at all, because I've never done something like this before. But Spirit is like, I got this, and really didn't pay me too much attention. So I just got what I needed for the reading, and here we are. But that's what I like the most about your reading is it all points in the same direction, so it's not confusing at all. This person is very active. I feel like they like to move fast. They want things swift, and they may have been brought up in a very competitive environment. Okay. They may play sports or have a child or children that play sports. It could be significant to sport activities. And I would say soccer could be significant as well. They call it different things in different countries, but there you go. Now, this person is very brave and like would want to defend you. Very high testosterone, I'll say. I feel like the Six of Swords is what you bring to the table. Or if it sounds like I'm describing you, then this person will help with that because it's an energy that avoids conflict and confusion, or that is just like a special thing Spirit wants you to know is if this person, because of just how they are, if they're competitive at all, to just avoid conflict and communication. Okay. There we go. Because I was about to start a gender war. I was going to say, you know how guys can be, but I don't want to say that because it could be any gender. I didn't say, Spirit, what gender, whatever. So there's that, because here we have, impulse, and then here we have action, and then we have this calm take you away. So if your life has been a little bit challenging and this person comes in like a savior. He swoops in. Like Archangel Michael is one who protects and is going to swoop in. And Archangel Michael also represents a certain direction. Okay, so we'll get to that. And I feel like you may even move away with this person, or they're moving. Like if you're in two different places right now, you guys join because someone is like moving away to, have calmer waters. I'll say that. Now, I can't hold water because it's just busting at the seams, because I mentioned Archangel Michael, but Archangel Michael, I believe, represents the South. Okay. And your geographical location is South America. Now, because there's a lot of you, okay, and this reading could reach, I hope, everyone who needs to hear it, and their person may not be South America specifically. Spirit gave me this card that represents South of Europe and South of Africa. So there's a few of you, but it's definitely the direction of South. Okay. Now I saw Lima. And so Lima helped me because when the country isn't like on the card, and I have a lot of places within a continent, it helps to kind of direct me. Now I'll hold it up close in case you want to screenshot it and see any other little towns in the area. Try to hold it still. But it's definitely South America. So I thought that was super dope and very consistent for you, Group B. And we will move to, let me get your, hold on, wait. Okay, Spirit, because I heard private parts, but I was still talking. So I don't know what that means, Spirit. But we can't be talking like that on YouTube. Okay, let me see. I am leaving it at that, baby. Spirit is like, that's it. Okay. That is something. So, next caller. All right, selection C. Here you guys have your card and message. You also have the number 3, and we are going to get to that in just a second. All right. I also have a couple of tarot cards for you guys, but I'm not going to hold you long. So hold your horses, because I see your horses right here. Hold your horses. It won't take long at all, but I do have a very special channel message for you. And then a little bit of interpretation about this union or person. And if it feels familiar where I'm like talking about you, then that's even more cool. Okay. Now, I will say that you guys are super special. You or this person, or both of you guys, have had some sort of difficulty in life. It doesn't have to have been relationships. And it's going to be a lot of you that choose this thing. So I have a lot to tell you in a little bit of time. But to ultra personalize it, right? Spirit has the answers and the magic. It is somehow going to connect with so many of you, and it's going to be crazy. So y'all have to leave me comments to tell me, what happened? What came of it? Now, let me blab out my intuitive feelings first, and then we'll get to your tarot cards. But there was a broken engagement, some heartache, some betrayal. And when Spirit gave you guys a wild card, because nobody else got a wild card so far, I feel like this is a situation that leads to community celebration and like a safe home, like just somewhere safe, because there was a period of like wild territory and unpredictable places. If this person lived in an area like that, it could be military people are often put out, displaced out into the desert and stuff. Or there could also be times where you just find yourself rock bottom, in unfamiliar places, or in places that are familiar, but just being in very uncomfortable situations, I'll say. Now, that could have been heartbreaking within itself without other arrangements, but for others of you, there's also like a broken engagement involved. And even though that's really sad, the good news is like you rise up, you live again, because this is your potential partner. And the previous engagement or the betrayal, if you've ever been engaged or if they've ever been engaged, it's going to make you really appreciate this relationship, is what I can say. Now, we have the healing, the block. Someone was at a crossroad with situations. There could have been a block causing these manifestations, attracting things that we really don't want. And your ancestors, guides, whoever you believe in, made these arrangements. You guys probably weren't even destined to have this, but I feel like the wheel of fortune in the universe is on your side. So both of you guys, or one of you, is like really special, where there could have been a destined life of uncomfortable or being single or being betrayed, attracting things with this past life energy or whatever. And divine intervention breaks in and different arrangements are made. New directions are taken. And that's where you and this person come to be. And I super, super love that. Now, this is hard to find. And I'll say that because, like I said, you guys are the only ones that got my cute little Joker card. Okay, because Hermes didn't put their logo on every card. They just did it on like one or two or a couple. So I was like, oh, this must be my luxurious, subscribers. And Spirit was like, no, but it's kind of like a Cinderella story for what life has in store for you, or you and this person. The reason why I said something was hard to find is because when I looked at your location card, I couldn't. I don't have bad eyes, so don't laugh at me. But I couldn't really see real good at first, and I was like squinting my eyes, and I was like, and then I saw and I was like, okay, is that Jersey? Oh, Delaware. And I was like, where is Delaware? Because I'm just being real goofy. So I had to look hard and think even harder. And it's like teeny tiny over there, like Washington, Maine, all that stuff on the East Coast. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's what you have. And I'll hold your card up in case you want to screenshot it for any other things. But this person, they could be from this area, or this is where you guys meet. Now, if you say I don't travel, then you got these two horses here for the chariot, saying, make that move. But how tarot works, most of you that come here may have had some ideas to travel, and or have friends in this area, or maybe even somebody if you're from this area. That's even more funny. Okay. But yeah, so you have you're in between, right? This little border area. And so here's Delaware, and then blase, or it could be like this actually too. So I thought that was super cool. Now for your channeled message, I think it was that this is hard to find, but let me give it a moment. Make sure you listen to this person. Don't miss any opportunities. Don't second guess anything, and like have this, it's like autopilot, like the chariot energy. You're gonna, I don't like bringing negativity in it. Like don't. But it's like something that flows and you don't have to figure it out. And I love that. So it's like you are probably a lot like me, like you're really smart, or you think a lot, or you need to be super sure and all that. And Spirit is like purposefully almost. So it's kind of like a reward for shadow work, maybe, where it's hard to find and you can't miss any green lights. I ain't gonna lie to you, because they're giving you a gift. So no pressure though. All right, group D, you are the first group to have an extra card. Okay, so I'll give you the rundown. And please be patient. These readings are super short. I don't want you to miss any detail because it's all about the signs. We're going to get to your geographical location and your important message right after I deliver these tarot interpretations. Okay. Now, I think you're going to like this because this marriage and this person is very nostalgic and gentle. There's a youthful energy here. Someone is rooted in the past and is kind of like family oriented or childlike in spirit. Okay, and loves tradition. I also feel like it's a sentimental bond, often like kind-hearted or innocent. So I think that that's super dope. Now, one of you could be overly idealistic at times and very caring, but romantic and tender, and seeks comfort in something familiar. I feel like this person may have overcome conflicts or challenges in either communication or just in general. Mountains could be significant because Spirit is like, you told these people you was going to tell them where these folks were, not just about them. Okay. So mountains in tarot also talk about conflict and challenges. So I wanted to include that because this is a sentimental relationship. Like, why would I leave the feels out? Okay. But all in all, mountains are going to come back up. So stay tuned because I just put two and two together. I had an epiphany. The Eight of Wands tells me something, right? About the distance or the travel. So we'll get to that. So I'm almost certain that you don't live in this place, okay? And you may have some concerns about the distance or feel like, how realistic could this be? Okay. Now, because Spirit told me that, so I'm telling you it. This is faded though, and there's an echo of the past in it. So this could be interracial. Okay. It could be, I can stop at interracial. I'm so goofy because I was going to say intercontinental. Okay. but something like that. This person is so bold. Is possibly an entrepreneur. And since I am an entrepreneur, I know all about those challenges and stuff like that. So this person doesn't have to come from a hard time in poverty. And even if they do, respect, okay, because so did I. But the challenges, you could have been born with money and still have challenges when it comes to setting a foot out on your own, because the King of Wands wants to do it himself and don't want mommy and daddy's money. So either way, they're up for the challenge. They're very inspirational, like a visionary. They're very magnetic, but not reckless when it comes to being like impulsive, just kind of fiery, but they know how to control it. I love the passion here. So it's going to be like a magnetism, and they're very confident. Okay. Now, the place, all right. For some of you, it represents courts, parliaments, and capitals. Okay. Sounds weird, but write it down, put it in your pocket. You're going to laugh and try to find this video. So save it. And you're going to come back and tell me like, girl, you were right. That is so crazy. And think about it. International, intercontinental courts, capitals. See, you got a point. Now, for some of you, okay, because we're going to get to the actual location, but it's a special message for some of you about Mount Etna in Mexico. Okay, there's also Sicily. So I think Mount Etna is in Sicily, and then Mexico has the highlands. All right, now for the collective, okay, your card, you have the Soviet Union or Union of the Soviet. They may have changed it. I was channeled to Moscow and Russia. All right. So that is what I have. And I thought that was super dope. Now for your channeled message. All right. Okay. Spirit said, don't. Okay. Run it back. Don't let nothing stop you. Y'all must be some real down to earth people, because I'm like looking for something deep and philosophical or like theological. Don't let nothing stop you. So are you the entrepreneur? Oh, okay. Don't let nothing stop you, baby. That's what Spirit said. All right. Selection E. Okay. You have E and the number 1. The 1 connects to the Magician. So I do feel like this is a soulmate. Soulmate. We're going to get to your geographical location and, excuse me, and your channel message. But first, here are your tarot cards that came out, and I laughed. You guys are the first group where I just said I'm gonna flip the cards over, because I shuffled the cards out and I put them back in the box and then sit here and start talking. But your cards was just chatty. So I said I have to see this so I don't forget, because it was so funny. Now, I love the fish in this King of Swords. I think this King of Swords these are the archetypes of the energy. The Queen of Wands, the King of Swords, they both mind their business. Both of you guys I'm not gonna even lie. I want to be brutally honest because I feel like your energy, you guys' energy, or this person's energy fits it. A lot of the okay, I ain't gonna tell their business because you may want to see another one, and I'm telling you about some other ones, but I won't. This energy is I like it. These people really don't romanticize and they don't have this ideology about love where it's all like butterflies and stuff. I like butterflies, but then I also respect when it's just fate because we got two confident people. I don't want to say stubborn, but I will say two very competitive natures. Okay. Um a limited thinker and then someone else who's like a free thinker who sparks maybe something new in this person, and that's why you know y'all lock in like that because it's like I'm not used to people challenging me or accepting how I am, you know, kind of. Now don't get it twisted and say, oh, this ain't for me, because I was gonna talk about like Al Bundy and Peg. Like she seemed like an upbeat va voom, you know, kind of free vibe. And he was so not that. You feel me? So I don't feel Bundy at all in any of your energies. Peg is fly. So don't y'all be talking noise about Peg. But Bundy ain't over here. So anyway, or Al. But my point was that's what I meant by like accepting that somebody kind of is how they is or they are how they are. Same time also bringing about some sort of spark or fire inspiration. So there's an attraction for sure, a very strong attraction. The only complication is, like I said, both of you guys are very strong. And that's what makes it so dope because nobody can mess this up. Like don't change who you are, they'll like it. And you're not going to try to change them, and they may like that, you know, about it. So I think that's kind of cool. You also have like market areas, city squares, and crowded places like arenas. Um, Now, if you are international, for some of you, southern Spain, parts of Africa and Italy, because there's like strong Olympic roots. So if you travel for stuff like that, or maybe they do, that's just something within their history. If you don't travel, don't get discouraged. Okay. Now, it's a magnetic, warm feeling. It's a very pioneering energy. They thrive through being challenged. Okay. Now, your location, you have, you know, this is the first one where I'm like, that's okay. We, um, we got, I think I already said it, but I'm also giving you additional tools that you can use. Okay. This is Albania, I want to say. Okay, you got to be really smart to play this game. You feel me? And this is a capital, so that's very interesting. And it's kind of hot there around the same time it's hot in America. So if you don't know nothing about this place, that is totally fine. It could just be for some of you, and also maybe where this person is from. So if you're like, where is it? It's in Europe. Okay, so they may have European roots, or maybe you do. But this is the capital city, and there are a few other little places. So just like with everyone else, I'm going to hold it up to the screen so that does that say Barat? Okay, no, I'm just playing. Here you go. So I think that is super cool. But it could be something like that. That's so cool, like Olympics and sports. And you guys are minding our business and so different. That's kind of cool. Your channeled message. Play it like a game. Now, the Queen of Wands would say that. So I think I'm talking to the Queen of Wands. I don't think the King of Swords would like that. But okay, now get to this real quick. You have the 7 of Wands, 5 Wands, Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, child. And I think that message was definitely for you because that's a lot of fire. Okay. So, yeah. Hey, you will win because maybe you like a little competitiveness. I don't know, child. That's what I have. Group F. All right. You have the number 4. I love that. That energy, you're going to laugh because that energy make a lot of sense. Your geographical location and your channel message will come in just a momento. I also have some tarot cards that were shuffled out for you guys, and these readings are very short, so feel free to just relax real quick. All right, don't miss any clues and signs. You'll like this, I do believe. Now, anything that is new and quirky, that is different vibe from the other readings, I'm gonna say because there's so many of you guys, and I'm not missing a sign if I'm asking you not to. I jokingly said, um, this isn't for the old folks. Don't get offended because I'm over 40. Yep, I am. That's me. So don't get offended. But I said that because this commitment comes with, I think, a +1, or someone has children. So it could be you, it could be someone else, the other person. It's like we come together type deal. So I was like, oh, okay. And I laughed because of my age. It's like, we ain't got time for that. But I'm talking noise and I do have a grade school age child. So it happens. So that's for someone, okay, or some of you. For others of you, I feel that that is a big issue. I don't know why. There could be issues. Okay, we're gonna get off that because that's just like very exclusive for some of you. But as far as like where you'll meet this person, okay. Now, I feel like broken communication may be an issue or may have been an issue for you or this person. So they're very intentional. Thank you, Spirit, for getting me back on track. Because I just saw I had like a vision of like a lot. And I was like, what? Y'all whole thing about to be channeled message. Um, but there's tradition and there's also a little bit of religion in here, but there's a commitment and they're serious about it. They're very intentional. So you may, Spirit said that ain't what you came for. Well, that's what you're gonna get, honey. So if you're saying, oh man, dang, I always get those ones. Yup, a real clever, calculated, strategic person that's playing to win. They are very chivalrous. So it's going to be hard. Yeah. It's going to, oh, it reminds me, oh, you running. Somebody running. Okay. It's this song that I like where the girl was recording herself and like on her phone doing her video and a boy was chasing her and she was like, who are you to tell me I'm beautiful and tell me I'm da da da? Because and what song is that? That's my song. You know the song? And it's like, because I basically she was like, I'm minding my business. So who are you? Tell me I'm beautiful. And I love that song. So anyway, that's funny. Oh, that's sweet. Lucky you. And that's how it is. Like the person who really don't even want like much, they get it. And I think that's super dope. Now, there's also kind of like being swept off your feet. This person could have a background in some areas that are natural sites. They're also very gentle. So it's like they're not like where they come from, but they probably hold the old patterns in the tradition a lot. This person could be from like a really small village or an ancestral home, if that makes sense. There's a lot of like history here. So get into your geographical location, and like the tarot cards kind of point to it as well, because Japan came up, or just a very strong, strict, like traditional kind of thing. Prague, in Europe, as well as like some areas of France, like province villages, right? It's just something where it's It is what it is there. Okay. Now, this person has like a native kind of culture because of Asia. Okay. I'll go ahead and like spill the beans. Um, we have, oh, that's just the sea. Okay. We have specifically because they on the edge. Okay, child, they is on the edge of the water. And I'm gonna hold the card up like I did for everyone else. But I feel that their location, this location was more for me to interpret. But I mean, y'all can also just go there, child. Okay. Uh, I doubt it. Spirit said, because I'm giving you the clues, but there we have it. And you got the type of personality where you feel exactly where I'm coming from. But when I said a native, it's like now I'm gonna give a history lesson. But what did you expect with the geographical tarot reading? Luckily, I'm built for it. Asia is like a migrant from Africa, and after from Africa to Asia, then it was over to North America, and a lot of in between. So the Native Americans also are descendants of Asia, as well as Africa, because the Asian people took more than the transatlantic took from Africa. So it's like 5 million people went to Africa a long time ago, and it was blended in. So long story short, we have Asian, African, Native American, and those tribes are still within Asia, Africa, Canada, and the United States. Bam. See, I ain't hold y'all too long, but I will say y'all probably had the longest message. So where you'll meet this person, like I said, it's going to be in a town. They're not, this isn't a concert going, oh, y'all be catching flights and you're going to meet them in the Caribbeans. Nah, this person, if you're in the United States, Canada, Asia, or Africa, you guys are going to just meet in a town, and they're very cultural and intentional. And you're going to be like, probably not as much, but you're going to rock with it because you hear it and I'm telling you the story right now. So that's crazy, but I like it. My group G, we will get to your channel message and geographical location in just a moment. You have the number 2 here as well. Could be significant. And there were a lot of hearts in the shuffle. So everyone also gets tarot cards. The readings are very short. You don't have to skip ahead or try to rush it. I won't hold you. I think you're going to like this though. Anytime I see the Queen of Cups and the 10 of Cups in the same environment, that's happy wife, happy life energy. And I appreciate that. Someone who is patient, that is committed, and they want to go the long haul. I think I haven't said this for any other group. So it isn't, I don't do fluff, I'm not fluffing it up, but this is, and my dogs haven't acted up like this for any other group. But this is like few to no challenges in the situation. Okay. Responsible, diligent, and patient, hardworking, reliable. This person is very reliable. Now, I won't lie, for some of you guys, that could be the challenge. Like, they are the butter on your bread, but they aren't the most reliable. And let's be honest, you guys, everyone may not have a fairy tale sort of situation. So if you come to tarot and say, Spirit, tell me about my existing partner, because I know there's a few married people sneaking up in here trying to see if they chose the right person. And or those that have been married before, because that came up in the shuffle, that there was a past situation, engagement, or marriage for your group, for your person. May not be you, okay? But that's just because that's how they are. They don't have flings. They don't do overnight, dating, or what does it say? I said overnight dating. What do they call that? Like speed dating and flash hooking up and all that stuff. They never did anything like that. Slow and steady wins the race. They're loyal. They're very consistent. And they show love through tangible actions. So that's why I said just somebody may not be as reliable because of the position of the card, but intuitively, and the message from Spirit is that their loyalty is going to be hard for you to get away from them. I feel like your optimism manifests this, because I've never really seen the Queen of Cups with wands, but I love that. So there's something about beauty and attraction. It's all over you. So they really like you. And she's coming in like this little fox energy. And he got his eyes just bucked out at her, honey. So when it comes to attraction, I think the feminine energy in this relationship has the upper hand. Because sometimes, it could be the lady who is like, you know, got the feels and the passion and the desire for her partner. And spirit is like, no, okay. Well, I've been there. I think I've liked someone more than I feel like they were able to communicate back, and that's totally okay. But in this situation, it is definitely the masculine energy or your partner that you'll meet that exceeds expectations and loyalty. So if you haven't had that in the past, be cool. Now, impulse and rushing them, because that's what I took at first. And I'm glad that I bucked back on what night this was, because in my feelings, like in my mind, I got the Knight of Swords, like rushing in. And that's the issue. She don't want to be rushed because she done went through some things with her intuition or her feelings or the past. And somebody being impulsive and, fast talking and trying to rush her is not going to do well, because then her intuition get all glitchy. Even though she's the queen of intuition, it just be like that sometimes. But Spirit said this queen ain't the queen of intuition, but could be. Okay. But do not rush her. Her optimism has gotten her in trouble, or him. It's not a gender war thing. So somebody's optimism may have gotten them in trouble. But this one comes in like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you wondering if you've been optimistic again. So I think that's kind of cute. Doesn't have to be for everybody. Now, as far as where you guys meet, we have the Midwest. All right. So near rivers and agricultural hubs, fields, meadows, and forests. So somewhere like in nature, places of cultivation and care. So anywhere someone goes to like take care of stuff, because that's what these two are good at. The compassion here and the support here. But your geographical locations are lakes, rivers, oceans, and harbors. For some of you, because this is an intergalactic kind of reading, we have Greece, Ireland, and Japan. That could also be connected to the heritage. River towns and harbors or seaside. And I would love that, honey, because I'm like right down the street from Malibu. If I was one of y'all, I'd be like, okay, I'm going out to Santa Monica Pier tomorrow, y'all. But I'm good, right? So others of you have, there was one more outside of Australia or Austria for some of you guys. There was one more. Netherlands. Did I say that? Scandinavian villages, Japan, and the Netherlands. I think I said that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Now, here is your card, your geographical card. And Spirit says your intuitive messages, your channel messages, long-term security or something. So maybe that's really important to you. But here you go. Take your screenshot. Some of you guys, your geographical location is in the channel message and the cards. Some of you, it will actually be on your card. And I think y'all know that by now, because most of you guys are super intuitive and you're going to do this your own way. And I love that for you guys. Okay. Okay. Selection H. You guys have the number 4 also. We are going to get to your geographical location right after this brief message. No. You also have tarot cards that were shuffled out for you, and you'll get a channeled message. So be patient. The readings are pretty short. I won't hold you. Okay. I also want to say this might even be part of your channel message, because it just came to me right before I hit record. Trust it. The weird little details that you get in the reading, because I've noticed people have very specific things. They got cities being busy, small towns, and others have rivers, mountains, And it's like, I just feel you guys' energy where some of you may not get out much or be in nature, but I mean, you want to meet your boo, so there's that. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I'm inspired though with how many plane tickets or how many people are gonna be actively like open to receiving. So I think that that's pretty cool. Your guys' energy is the direction of east because of this particular sword, and it talks about space for reflection, withdrawal, to recharge. So it's going to be a quiet, secluded kind of place. I feel like if you have ever been interested, or your person is definitely interested in like retreat centers, that may be very significant for you guys. It's very zen. So I think that that's kind of cool. It could be the cultural background, doesn't have to be. So I'll give you kind of like a disclaimer with the signs, how I interpret it. Use your own intuition, because one of them had like, who had it, and it didn't, spirit didn't say, why didn't you just be general with it? Because I said something about take me as I am, because they had a kid or something, and the general message was there could be a challenge around children. So I didn't even leave it open for those who marry and one wants a kid, one doesn't, or there's complications with a birth. I was like, I'm not digging all into that, but that's how deep spirit can get for you guys. And so I was just kind of told to be general. So it's not specific to, your person coming in with a kid. Their situation was different. So I bet you're like, well, what about our situation? Okay, fine. Be cautious, okay, and patient, because that's how they are. It leads to a relationship, so you don't have to worry about that. But so we don't interfere with, you didn't watch the tarot reading, you already know it's gonna be what it is. It's just this person may be reserved. They need introspective, so don't get nervous about how they move, type deal. But small towns, village squares, community halls may be significant. Now, there's some of you that are going to meet this person that's very fun loving and playful through a friend circle, a celebration of some sort. So a friend of a friend type deal. This is a celebratory moment or community where people just party all the time. You may thrive in groups because one of you is like different from the other of you, or this is just because so many of you chose H, and some of you have a very guarded person that's into retreat and zen and all that kind of stuff. And then there's others of you, which is actually the initial energy that I got was, okay, spirit chill. Spirit is like, that's not the initial energy. That was like second or third. Okay. So meeting through a friend of a friend type deal. A joyful friend, a party organizer, even for some of you, but they nurture emotional bonds through shared experiences. So it's you see how general that is? Like some, it's like a retreat center and the whole kumbaya community. And then others, it's like, we want to have fun. Oh, hey, here's such and such link, right? So there it is type deal. Now, for your geographical location, this person could even have like, since I said like Zen garden and all that, they could even have like, an Asian descent, doesn't have to, but don't be surprised. There's also like a connection to like the Tibet. So they could be into Reiki and all that stuff, or actually the place. Now this is the UK. And I zoomed in on Shrewsbury, and Spirit and me sat here like, I was like, that's also like a last name. I worked with a lady who had a last name kind of like that. So for some of you, their last name could be a location, which is super dope. But you guys have the UK. I will, Spirit says you already told them enough, because some of you, it may not be the card for you. It may be something I said. So Spirit, come on, be nice. For those of you, okay, where it may be on this little map, I always hold it up so you can give it a good screenshot for kicks. All right. But group G, H, sorry about that. You also have the number 4. So I think that's emphasizing on this 4. And that's why Spirit was like, that partying and meeting through a friend was not the main objective here. Maybe that's just, it sounds good to me. But I think focusing on the 4, that's where it resonates with the East. Could also be an air sign. And Spirit's like, there you go. Okay. A calm person, an understanding partner that respects boundaries. This person is like, see, that's what I'm saying. That's the vibe. Zen, retreats, respecting boundaries. You know, I'm going to ask you before I kiss you type deal. Just someone who's cautious and reflects and stuff. So I love that for you. All right. Group I. Selection I. You have I and the number 1. And intuitively, I got let me type deal. So that's kind of cute. We will get to your channel message and your geographical location in just a momento. First, we're going to go over the tarot cards that were shuffled out for you. And I think that they're super cute. You have the 6 of Wands, the King of Wands. And you notice I didn't even put him over there with his thing. But yeah, the King of Cups came out with the 6 of Wands. And so I'll get to that. It's so funny. Oh my God, I got a story to tell y'all. Okay, so 6 Wands, King of Wands, King of Cups. Okay, we got 2 very strong, dominant energies here. Usually represents archetypes. But of course, this reading is predominantly for where y'all meet. I just give you a few little key details of whatnot and channel messages. So I got the recognition. I appreciate you. It's like he like woo, like he all deep into. Look at that. I think you guys are the first group that I've done this to, because I'm big with holding them up, because I'm like a tarot fan from YouTube, like old school. And I used to love when they held them up so I could see it. But since this is mostly information, I haven't been doing that. But for you guys, I want you to see how I felt it. It was just like woo woo type deal. So there's appreciation. There's this in my heart. Look how he just gripping on it. And then y'all got I saw the 4 of Pentacles. I promise you it's at the bottom of the deck. That is crazy. It's like I'm holding on tight. It's a good grip. Okay. Like woo woo woo. But anyway, very confident energy, very proud and expressive. They're gonna like tell you how they feel, honey child. Now for you guys, city centers, plazas, and arenas. Okay. For some of you, it's in the South. And this isn't even pulling from the map. I'm going to show you the map, which is so crazy, but you got the South. For my international babies, we have Europe, Spain, Italy, Greece. And for those of you that say, I'm in the United States, I got you, chill. Okay. So areas with arenas, is very significant. Sunlit hills. All right. You'd be surprised. Now you go visit somebody out of town or take a trip, or you could just be in a neighborhood and you going up the hill and the sun is out right. And it's going to be a moment like that is crazy. You also have, for some of you guys, like heated areas that may be hotter. So that's contributing to the South. And then, like I said, for some of you, like mountains and valleys, but not too much of that. I just feel like the emotional balance and compassion is super dope, where it's like very diplomatic. Okay. This is a very supportive marriage. It's emotionally stable. And there's some attraction. A business could be involved. Entrepreneurs, or just someone who's really good at it. You have a leader type energy that has what it takes. And then you also have this very equal, but more supportive energy. So this is like what that person needs. It's kind of like an alpha person and like a sigma. So sigma or beta, kind of energy. I don't want to get blocked, but because if you're alpha, you're gonna be like, what? But generally speaking, okay, as an observer, alphas really appreciate that. They may not admit it, but they like to be looked at in a certain light or looked up to. And this person has a lot of that for them. In addition, because they feed off that, they give you that passionate energy back. And I think that that's super dope. So being celebrated. Now, this person is a public achiever, so they may be very public, but they're very protective as well. And there's a support and a protection. And I think that that's such a balanced relationship. Now, for your guys' geographical location, you got good old St. Louis. And it was very specific because every time I allowed my eyes to flow around the card to see something else, I saw St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis. So I ain't gonna force it. But with all the groups, I held it up so you could take a little screenshot. And for kicks, come back and tell us a little bit about it or what you took from this message. I think that is so cool. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, for my J8 little group. All right. Let's see what we have for you all. I am going to admit I was channeling a message and I'm going to tell you about it. It's so funny and it's so cute. And it's a backstory to, I think your person could even be you. Now, I'll set don't be trying to cheat here. Let me do it like this. I'll set the disclaimer that you all have tarot cards as well. So you will get the location and your channel message, but we'll go over the tarot cards that Spirit has shuffled out for you guys. So we'll start with that. Now this is, who said Minnesota? Hold on. Now for some of you guys that, just in case you've watched other videos, this is the first one where I'm just like, okay, let me pause to get that. Okay, I got it. I had to make sure. Oh, that's kind of cute. Tori. Okay. So that could be significant. My knee just started tingling. So maybe the delay was for that. It's okay, Tori. Now, firstly, you guys got all these hearts, which I thought was absolutely insane. Let's see here. The 3 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the 8. That was crazy. So someone kind of like, there's a beating to one's own drum. There's also an energy of looking forward to it and being very optimistic and almost getting ready for it. Like somebody's getting dressed, pampering themselves. Like you guys are going to meet and you'll hear them before you see them. That's what I was getting to, where like, I don't know why the video started recording and I was still seeing and hearing. So I wasn't anticipating it, but I was like, we're finna roll with it. So I was like, the video started already? Damn. So anyway, so this could be like meeting. It doesn't have to be online, but I'm like, how else could somebody like talk on the phone or hear each other's voices before they see each other? You could even be in a crowd or out somewhere. But the message was you'll hear them before you see them, or something like that. So I thought that was super cool. Now, reflective, introspective, ready to leave what no longer serves them. And I feel like that's what they do, or that's what they did to get to where you are. They had to detach from something. So one of you or both of you may have experienced that. Somebody could be a bit detached, or may seem distant or feel stagnant. All right. They need emotional growth and a new horizon. Right. And when I say they, I feel like it's this energy that needed that, where they could have been in a situation that was more physical, and not as in like, physical. I mean like involved materials. Like, I don't know. It was, how do you say? What do you call it when it's more convenient, or you know what I mean? It's like it wasn't a love and all this stuff that the Knight of Cups would want. So it's like someone who's following their heart. That's a very good caretaker and is very optimistic. And I don't think wherever they were or whatever they were doing, it was supported. So they're excited, confused, but excited. So there's a little bit of confusion. And I feel like those of you where this isn't confusion and it's options, that's the like online things. I was asking Spirit, I was like, do people like online date or do stuff like that? I don't know. So it could be social media or whatever, where, there's a bunch of people that you see all the time. And it's like, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of them. And not choosing any of them. Like if there was a selection of some sort, or maybe you didn't even choose a selection and you just listening to this video. There's also Pisces, possibly. Because this card is connected to the end of February, the beginning of March, specifically, but the end of February. Also, the number 28 may be significant, or the numerology 7. So if you have a birth name or life path, 7s may attract to this particular video, which is kind of cool. Somebody could be journeying across waters. So those of you that are near rivers, lakes, or coast ferries. And if I was y'all and I picked this one, the coast ferry for me, the closest one, because I'm in California, would be Catalina. So I would watch this video, and even if 80% of it didn't resonate, I would say, girl, I was thinking about going back over to Catalina. And you could just bump into somebody there who probably just, trying to get away from something, trying to breathe. And there y'all go. Kind of like Stella got her groove. So I love that. Now, for others of you, it just represents dreamy, social, someone who's kind of like idealistic. Towns that have lakesides, I think I already said that, and in between spaces. So whatever that means, that's why it's like shores, rivers, crossings. So be near water, because this is like a lot of cups, okay? And Spirit is like, yes, yes, yes. All right. Now, for your, and it says, is that peninsula? Let me see what I said. It's a lot of pens here. Maybe it's a pen pal, because that came up a few times. Gregory. Okay, so we had a Tory. We also had a Gregory. This area, I think, is Australia. Queensland, Australia. So for my international babes, there you have it. And if you say, oh, well, that don't connect to me, baby, you got 72 other things that I said. So don't be discouraged. And you guys have the longest video that I have recorded today. So there is a lot of you and a bunch of special messages for you guys. What was that on the back I was looking at? I think that was Tori. Okay. Now we have, that's funny. That's the confusion. We have north and we have south, but it's not south. It's actually just a part of the name on the map. But it's like, how the compass will say north, south, east, west. You see the north. So that could be the confusion. Somebody is lost, or it was an accident, or bumping into each other. Child, that is so cute. But the compass we have is possibly north, especially for Tori, whatever that's about. Now that's funny. I didn't mean to get here and got here. Hilarious. Oh, it's like a mix up. You know how some people get Australia and Austria confused. So I think that that's cute, and I do hope that it helped. Bold, fresh start energy. I love this. Very fiery too. It's a yes, and it's a new relationship. Some of you didn't know what to expect. Is it the high school sweetheart? Is it the hometown favorite? Is it the dude you met yesterday? This is new. You haven't met them yet. And I feel like there may be different cultures involved. I'll just say that. Welcome into the reading. Don't rush. The readings are short, so you don't have to skip ahead. You might miss something that's so short. This is for my selection K and the number 5. Your geographical location card and your channel message will come. We'll just run through your tarot cards real quick. I will say that in the shuffle, I saw a very vibrant, attractive feminine energy who was a little bit competitive or combative in nature. Is it intentional? Okay, because I was about to say it might not even be intentional, and Spirit was like, "Yes, it is." Okay. Well, I also channeled a message to that somebody's holding on to an idea, and I agree with you. I hope you got a good idea though, but what I felt and like the visual that I got, it was like it's a belief that you have, um, and I feel like your belief is connected to the type of person that you'd want to marry. You have a belief system in, I don't know, whether it's angels, fairies, religions like archangels, ascended masters, whatever your thing is. Um, and I was like, I ain't gonna even go there. We're gonna keep it, But I don't want you to miss anything. So hold on to your idea. There's an idea that you have and you can manifest it. Okay. So, anyways, others of you, all right, there's something about a memory. So you guys are gonna be building memories. That and your person may have a strong connection to hometowns, historic towns, and I feel like they could be Indian descent or like there's some connection. Okay, y'all can be at an Indian restaurant, and when I say Indian, I'm talking about like the country, not we don't do that over here. Your person is loyal, steady, grounded, and reliable. And I feel like their direction for others of you may be north. So the Midwest in America, if you're in Italy, northern Italy, we have Switzerland, but fertile plains and orchids may be very important. They're very energetic, but at the same time gentle and successful. So be mindful of that your person is very passionate about something, or it could be you once you guys get together, and they're very affectionate. It's really hot, okay, and steamy or whatever. Now, you could be from a southern region. If you're not, don't feel discouraged, okay? Now, for you guys, it's location, okay? You ain't finna trip me yet. Lo and behold, you actually have India. Like there's some specific places, but I laughed because this side is connected to India and you never know where they cut and fold the paper. So I thought, and look at me, I'm nosy. Oh, I like that. They may have a connection to agriculture as well, or the agricultural industry and resources. I like talking about resources with the King of Cups right here. So they may be very fertile. All right. They got some land or something. I think that that's kind of dope. Um, but yeah, both sides are connected to India. And even though your specific message could come from the cards or a channel message, there are some of you here that connect with this map. So I hold it up so you guys can screenshot it if you like. But what I thought was funny was I got India on this side. And then when I flipped it over in Spirit, it's like, what extra are you looking for, baby? You already got the gist, right? This little area was highlighted. And I didn't do that. So that's kind of neat. Do I have it upright or is it upside down? No, it's upright. So that may be very significant for some of you if you want to take a look at that. And so it was just like double downing on, on that. So I do, and then you have two Ks. You have the king here and this king with the number 5, your marriage card. So it's like this person is not coming to play. And why would the King of Pentacles play? Because this is the provider. This is the reliable one that's committed. And you guys connect through this passionate, nostalgic energy. Maybe they're not used to that. So you're like the spiritual being, and maybe they're more of the, practical one or material or successful one. But I think that is super cool for you guys. L, look at that. L1. Okay. We're going to get to your channel message and your geographical location right after these brief messages. No, I'm just kidding. Your tarot cards that were shuffled out. I received multiple messages from you guys through the cards, but mostly just like channeled. Where there's a change in the direction where there's an inspiration, but then there's a new one. That's you or your person. And I feel like in the midst of this journey, this individual but still connected journey, you guys meet. I know the actual location. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not trying to hold it over your head, I swear. But it's super cute. And I feel like your life purpose or their life purpose is also involved because someone may be gifted or receive downloads or just have past life memories that are reactivated that they're gonna write about. So I thought that was kind of cool. Um, they're very optimistic. You are too. I feel like you're very optimistic. Where you take one step and then you're waiting for the second step. So some of you guys have made changes and transformations in life, maybe recently, or your person has, and it's like step two type deal. So you got step one, now step two, okay, and step two involves something that you already have. Now, for others of you, right, because that was very special, and I had to like pause and put my hands together and be all philosophical for that. There's also an energy of growth where this leads them to grow and maybe into doing what I'm telling you. And maybe you're going to give them the nudge and inspire them to do what I'm talking about. They could be doing something else. And you say, hey, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I think that is so super sweet. Now, for your geographical location, we have an airport and in the city. It doesn't have to be this specific airport, but I channeled a message when I was looking at the card, and you guys are the only ones that have a regional airport in the center. Now, your meeting spot is also significant to, for some of you, history. So, like an airport that's named after a president, per se, or just some sort of area or place that's significant to the past. I think that that's super dope. The reason why I said the city is because I think to this point, because I don't remember the other cards verbatim, but you guys are the only ones that have this color. So it's like deep in wherever y'all at, there's no coastline because a lot of people had water and coastlines and rivers, mountains, valleys, and all kind of stuff. And you guys are the first ones because I asked Spirit, do anybody just meet at the grocery store down the street? You know what I mean? So you guys actually do meet within a town. Look, we have crossroads right here. But you just meet in a town or near an airport or historic place. Like I said, something that has some sort of history to it. I think you'll like them, of course, because there's romance and affection here and comfort seeking. Okay, so I think that that's super dope. Someone is an initiator and adventurous that's open to possibilities. The other person is just like more nurturing and wise. So I don't know who inspires who, but it's a very sentimental relationship. It's exploratory. So I think that's why you kind of have the city, the airport, possibly new settlements. So if literally crossroads, that's crazy. And there has been towns where the crossroad is somewhere within, even if it's not the actual word, because yeah, that's crazy. The crossroad. Huh. That's kind of cool. I won't stretch that, but that could be significant for some of you guys. My lovely group M3. Okay. I was like, their husband or wife gonna be a rapper. And then once you see where the geographical location is, you're gonna laugh. We will get to that and your channel message after I go over your tarot cards real quick. So what I have here was a lot of time outside. This person knows or has learned that Everything that you need is within. It reminds me of like Abraham Hicks, how she talked about the vortex, and it was like, you can have this and you can have that and you can have this. So you'll know that this person is closer as your other manifestations come in. So be positive. Hold fast to your manifestations and look into the whole, heart vortex magnetism type thing. That could bring you guys together sooner, because she talked about the vortex, but I just wanted to give you guys a little cheat code that the vortex is also connected to the heart. The heart is connected to your magnetism. Your magnetism is, how you attract. So the heart chakra and working on your aura. Okay. I thought that was super cool. Now, there could be some differences in beliefs. It's a non-traditional. Okay, cool. This is a very traditional person, but there's a non-traditional aspect of it, and there's a change. Okay. To like move away from the beliefs that someone had. Oh, so that they can have this. So this is, you guys are a part of each other's like soul growth or whatever. Like when you shed, no, things that no longer serve me. Them even being in a position to meet you and you guys' energies and frequencies being aligned says that the change happens. I don't know if it's happened yet, but it's part of it. Okay. There's momentum gaining. And for some of you, kind of like halfway there. So I wouldn't be surprised if I have like one or two people listening to this that are already engaged or, have a person and it's just curious, right? Maybe their name starts with that letter. Or you just gravitated toward it, right? But you guys are halfway there. If you're having any financial issues, and this is for the person in a situation that's just here being nosy possibly, or for anyone, financial situations are changing. Momentum is building. If it's not, it's something that we may be refusing to see in a situation. So I'm like giving y'all marriage counseling right now, because you could do all of the good things that we're talking about. And then there could be some challenges, like I said, with belief systems or finances. And it's like there has to be a change, and a change that nobody saw coming. So it was hard to see it because you didn't consider that it was a change that was necessary or something like that. It's kind of cool. Now, more about the geographics of it. The King of Pentacles, your Five of Pentacles, and then you got two Pentacles. That's a lot of Pentacles. So Earth energy could be involved. We haven't really been tying it to the signs here. Just represents grounded energy, provider energy, success, somewhere. But this could talk about very fertile lands for some of you guys. Now, what I have here is funny. It's not as fertile, but for some of you wealthy urban centers, like if you're looking to attract someone that doesn't have financial problems, because that could be big for you. Like, I want to change. I'm tired of, that this person and you may meet in a wealthy urban area. Okay. So just know to be there, honey. You got to be there to get it. Places of abundance and cultivation. So that means agricultural plains, orchids, orchards, rivers, valleys. So places that you may not necessarily frequent. Okay. Now, be flexible. That's required. And seeking balance in love and life is important, because if you guys, or if anyone has issues like in life or with finances, finding the balance to have a healthy relationship and a marriage could be very important. Okay. Now, I laughed because of the M3. I'm from Texas, so I thought about Mo3. And then when I saw your geographical location is connected to Japan, for some of you, they love American pop culture and hip hop. So that could be significant. The cards are significant to my international babes. I'm in the US, but some of you guys are not. So I didn't want to negate the actual location on your cards, but I have been intuitively receiving messages from some things on the cards, and I hold it up so you can take a screenshot and see what you see, and if anything comes of it for you. But I just thought that was super funny, because they do love American music. So music could be involved, and we did talk about success, but this is kind of like starving artist kind of energy that's gaining some sort of clout. So I thought that was cool. And there you have it for my M's. Okay, maybe y'all gonna get some M's. All right. First thing came to mind was, oh, 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 oh. Here you go. All right, so we're going to get into your geographical location, your channel messages, as well as the tarot cards that were shuffled out for you. And I'm so giddy. I'm so giddy, so that's a good thing. You're going to be giddy too. Okay. Y'all might even like share some wine or some drinks. And no, I'm having tea. So before you say, she must be over there on that wine. I don't even drink wine, child. But it is tied to your 9 of Cups. All right. I feel like this is wish fulfillment. This card been wanting to come out for a couple of episodes up until you guys, and it finally came out. So I was like, yes. And look what came out with it. This is absolutely insane. Now, it's only one other group, I think, that even got one of these cards, one or two. But you guys got both of them. This is 2 wild cards and wish fulfillment. You meeting this person is an anomaly. I don't know what that means to you, but it's true. Okay. So the 9 of Cups, and I'll call it like the high and the low joker, because that's usually how it pans out in the little card game, whatever. Contentment, confident, emotionally fulfilled, someone who has achieved personal happiness and satisfaction. It's some, see, I knew it. It may not be like alcohol and partying, but some indulging, but in a healthy way is what spirits say. You're very generous and affectionate. I feel like y'all go, okay, booked and busy. Ain't nobody said that in a wild spirit. You got to get your lingo up. But that's what he said, or it. We go back and forth with all that. You're going to be very comfortable with this person. Coastal retreats, lakes and rivers, because everybody got their thing. Sometimes it's the city, sometimes it's down the street at the corner store. Somebody got airport, but for you guys, we're definitely in the water energy, which I think is super cool. And also like lake shores, spaces for enjoyment and contentment near water. So that's really big. You don't get intimidated or feel like, when I talk about estates, because for some of you, it's a riverside estate. And with 2 jokers, child, I'll take it if you don't want to, because it's some sort of wish fulfillment. And I'm just going to say that, that if you wanted to manifest, like, can I see it? I can see it. If you wanted to manifest like a certain lifestyle that somebody would say you're delusional to even want, like from where you started to where you're trying to go, this is the type of situation where you get there. So no, we're not manipulating. Of course, we're not. It's not about materialism or whatever. But it's like, if you and never in your life thought you're going to set foot on a country club, because you ain't even nowhere near a country club type thing, they might be. Okay, and there you go. Like, pretty woman. That's what Spirit said, pretty woman. But it's a free spirited it's a free spirited individual. Okay. And it's unconventional and playful and unpredictable. So it fits you. Like, you fit them, or this fits their energy. And I hope you're into spontaneous, unpredictable people. Spirit says you're not. Well, that's what makes it a wild card. So I'm really making it bad for this person then when I tell you that they kind of don't like routine a lot or being restricted. But they bring a lot of fun into the relationship. Kind of wild, child. I like that. Now, I think y'all fit because one is unpredictable and shifts suddenly. So having a partner that's adventurous and is not going to allow you to get bored is great. Okay. Uninhabitable areas. Not y'all going to sneak into somewhere. Now, South America could be important to you guys, or maybe even taking a trip to like remote islands. And Spirit said, yeah, okay, so you into that. Good, because they are too. Now, we're going to get to your card here. And I don't know why I was singing. I ain't gonna lie. I thought California, but I could be biased because that's my connection to the Pacific Ocean. So I just took a look at the car and I said, Spirit, should I focus on the location of the car? And Spirit said, no, look. And then right when I asked, I saw NO right here. But it does say north. Okay, so but I saw NO. So Spirit said it's not a big deal. It's a whole bunch of water. Maybe this talks about traveling on a cruise. It's like if you miss this, you're fired. Because why else would I just show you a big body of water? Right? Spirit told me not to say it. I'm not gonna say it, but Spirit said I can say it's possibly into some of you guys, or at least one of you. It's an interracial relationship. And there may be Polish background. It's innocent what I said though, but Spirit was like, don't say that. I was like, why not? So there's that. Oh, because they both are. Oh, okay. May not be interracial. Could be continental, but the same race. Don't see and see that's the gray area. It's like stop. Okay, that's what I have. All right, key section. Your number is 3. We're gonna get to your geographical location right after your tarot interpretations. Now, these cards are very adamant because I was shuffling and I saw them and they didn't fall out, so I didn't take them when they poked out. So I wanted to say someone is very they're gonna stand up for it and they're gonna stand there. They 10 toes, child, ain't nobody, you can't pass this up. There are some groups that were reminded to go with the flow, don't second guess it, don't miss the sign, be cautious and all that kind of stuff. Your group, honey, you ain't gonna miss it. They ain't gonna miss you. And you also got some extra bonus cards right here. Now, first we start with your 9 of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. You guys are the first group to get the Ace of Cups. I do want to say that. And I'm looking at all the foxtails, child, which is really cute. But there's this reef circle in the heart, so I like that. Some of you may have some trust issues. This person is very attractive, and the relationship may even start out with just casual, dating or whatever. Somebody's kind of defensive a little bit. Maybe you dealt with narcissism in the past. So their confidence or them being so attractive is kind of like, Now, Spirit said that's an area to heal. Self-love is the best love. Okay. So that we're not projecting into this marriage. They're very persistent, though, and resilient. They face challenges, but remain determined. So that's why I was like, there's no self-sabotaging here. They're loyal, very protective, and may even be Southern. Okay, they could be from the South. Doesn't have to mean that's where y'all gonna meet. Matter of fact, I don't even think that's where y'all gonna meet. For some of you, Castle is crazy, but there's something about elevated. Why Spirit say you the cross watcher? That's crazy. But there's something elevated, like seeing something from above, or it's like something that rises high, right? Like hills, castles, watchtowers. There's something about that. So that was very interesting. You're intuitive and emotional. I feel like this is the challenge. It's a fresh, loving energy, and it's a new lover, the inspired healer, and it's asking you to open up emotionally. I don't know if that's really easy for you, but it's a new lover, and they're an inspired healer. So this, you don't have to worry about, is it some complicated situation from the past, which I think is kind of cool. And they're bold, honey. This is just good. I like it. You may be like, standoffish about it at first, but I like it from where I'm sitting. So I thought that this was kind of cool. Okay. Now, the bonus cards that came out, and I don't think everybody, it's only like 2 or 3 of y'all that done got bonus cards, but that's not my fault. I take whatever look like it need to stay. You got another path or a delay. Now I see another path and an opportunity, somebody else could see it as a delay if they were dead set on this other thing. Okay. You also have support and what we're putting into. So that's very, maybe, I don't know if that's the past energy, but giving and receiving is maybe something that took somebody into a different, took somebody on a different path. What it leads to, though, is a legendary story and a legacy. Okay. It also talks about, for some of you guys, moving in together. Of course, you'd have to do that for, most people. If you're going to get married, you might move in together. But y'all are the only ones that got the move in together card. So I thought that was kind of cool, where someone may need a little bit of support, because they live at a distance. And it's like, well, just come on over here, because I ain't got time for all that. Now, you guys are over on the East Coast. I did see Jersey. I saw Trenton. That's not the best place, so don't get discouraged. That may not be for you, and if you don't, whatever. They could be there. They could be from there as well. But I feel like this has a more East Coast connection. It didn't have a lot of travel. Okay, so it's like these are very specific. And sometimes the intuition and the location comes from the cards, for some of you. And for others of you, there are little trinkets, words, names. It could be a place that you've already been. Like when I saw Roosevelt. I don't know, Roosevelt stuck out to me. And like a hometown sort of connection. So I don't want to, Lakewood too, because I was like, there's a Lakewood, California, but there's also one on the East Coast. So little things like that. And I've been holding them up for everybody in case you want to screenshot or to be nosy. That outline looks like an F or AF, right? So I thought that was kind of cool. And you have to tell me what you think. Q. Okay. My section Q, you guys are up. These are your bonus cards over here. We're going to go over your tarot interpretations and get the deets on your card. You have the number 10 as well. So be patient. The readings are very short, so you don't have to skip ahead or want to rush. We're going to talk about it. First, we start with, I was going to say the Two of Swords, but I want to go with the channel message. It was something about the other side, and I feel like you and this person have a connection in other dimensions or a past life, and they ask you to wait for them. That's what he said. She said, whoever. And we're going to get to it. Now, the Two Swords, the Nine Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. These are going to give us the clues and tips that we need, so that you can look for a sign and feel inspired. Now, I guess the reassurance of them saying, wait for me. Someone is very thoughtful, but also indecisive. Okay. And trying to balance opposing forces or struggling with choices. And it's like, the reason why is because your person is a spiritual connection, and it manifesting into the physical just requires the time. Okay. Now, there's a lot of different countries that came up. So for some of you where it's like more local, if you're in the United States, we'll talk about the type of environment that this would take place in. For those of you where it's international, this points to Eastern Europe, the Netherlands, came up, Scandinavia, and the Northern Islands. I didn't even know Japan had islands. The Northern Islands of Japan. Okay. So being flexible and adaptable is important. This person is resourceful and skilled at juggling. So the concerns that one may have with how this even takes place, I think this person handles most of that. Maybe that's why they're like, just wait for me. Okay. They're balancing out love and responsibilities. And I don't think they're worried about love at the moment. They're dealing with responsibilities, but maybe you've already met in the astral realm. So I think that's super dope. Now, hubs and ports and little marketplaces like that could be important. So if you visit those type of areas, great. Okay. Harbors and river junctions could also be significant for some of you. Areas where movement and balance are essential. So if you do something and like movement and balance is, that's just what it is. Okay. Now, another thing that came up was the type of person that wants you to wait. And I thought this was okay. Thank you, Spirit. I knew that. The type of person is very caring and loving, very supportive, and maybe business oriented, but also plays a very supportive role in the marriage. So whatever they have going on business wise wouldn't outweigh the priorities of the relationship. I feel that if you've met this person, that there's some sort of disconnect, separation of some sort, and the wheel of fortune takes over to bring this thing together. So I love that. Maybe that's why the non third dimensional aspect of the person was like, wait for me, because maybe you even blocked them, okay, or the messages are blocked because of interference, doing too much. Like if you are a spiritual being, let's say I don't meditate and I don't have like a specific diet and I'm a star seed or, just a very sensitive being to the third dimension. It's like some other things. You are the person because I don't want to be putting it all on you, but there's a interference in the frequency. So that's like somebody who can't send a message through a phone call because they're blocked or, find you online. Or it's just like something in the physical is not allowing for communication on whatever end. But the spiritual aspect of them said, wait for me. And I ain't gonna tell you what I said. I said I'm my business to tell y'all what these cards said, but I was like, what? So I ain't gonna tell you what I said. Now Spirit said the map card that we have, because that's why I channeled the message. Some of you, your information was given through the tarot interpretation or the channel message. And then for others of you, I do have the little handy dandy cards here. I didn't put them specifically to the United States. This is all over the planet. And since you are a multidimensional being, you'd be surprised that you have past connections or future or history with someone you've never met in a country you've never been before. And that is the beautiful thing about divination tools and tarot. Your country, actually, for those of you that may be international babes, or bros, is Greece. And Spirit says Scandinavia. We also have Turkey. Spirit got really, I'm glad I didn't forget. Spirit got like super excited about Turkey. So Turkish energy, Turkey. Okay. The pre-existing settlement of Therma. That's very specific. And it's a car alarm going on outside. So there you have it. I hope that it helps. Okay. R1. I love that. Your geographical location and your channel message. We also have a few, well, you guys have more than a few tarot cards. And so we're going to go over your interpretations and get down to the gist and the juice. Now, these messages aren't long, so you don't have to skip forward. Just be patient. All right. And I like this message. I will say it's the first of its kind. And I have did a few messages. I'm more than halfway done, actually. So this is definitely one of a kind. Now, what we'll start with, and we'll get into why this popped out. Okay, so to avoid confusion, because these three, because I'm doing three for all of you guys, these three were telling us something. Okay, and then explaining something. I do feel like an air sign could be involved. Doesn't have to be a Libra. But these Nine of Swords just wanted to talk. All right. There's a few channel messages that are specific to a person or a couple of you, and then the collective message you'll know which is which, okay? Because one will resonate with you or both will. And there you have it. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Swords came out for you. In the shuffle, there were like a billion nines, okay? So 3 nines could be significant as master numbers, and sometimes they're connected with certain contractual obligations when in alignment with one's soul purpose or your experience this lifetime. I'll just say that maybe becoming independent from those things has delayed relationships. Being single because we're avoiding chaos, moving around a lot, having temporary situations. Some of you actually even chose to be single. And I said, Spirit, how am I gonna get this message? Like, why would they even click on this video? And you did. Okay. And I love it because this is a very special message because it's so different from the rest of them. Okay. It could also be your person. You may have a spiritual marriage with someone who is in this world, focused on the physical and not in alignment with the frequency or has some anxieties about losing their independence. So they don't commit. They're flaky. They're in and out, back and forward. And spirit just guides you away from them. You could also have similar, cross shadowy energy where you're learning independence through a presumption of codependency, because sometimes we take our childhood traumas and think we need to be hyper independent or just come out that way. And then others of us, it could be a real life lesson, learning some independence, and your soulmate is tied into that. So we would, in a perfect world, we're growing at the same time. However, it may be different in this situation. Okay. Now, for the collective, okay. Someone who enjoys comfort earned through effort. Right? A hard worker. This is a great energy for it. This person has strong earth energy in a direction of north, possibly. They like the luxuries and refinement. Okay. Right now, there's some reflective energy, and they're kind of like in transition. All right. The transition is seeking a deeper connection, but needs space and time to move past challenges. That could be you, that could be them. Both, I feel like both sides of this are currently kind of like this Nine of Pentacles is very important. So either having it all as far as resources, and then there's the independent aspect of it. Okay, so I think that that's super cool. Now, how it ties in the Eight Swords with the Queen of Swords, it's like a limited thinking and having that sword drawn. And I also see the veil is on the opposite side. Like somebody is like, give it to me straight. That's funny because usually in a marriage, the veil is down. But, when it's like, you may kiss the bride. Look, she's kissing. That's funny. You see that? Okay, I was about to get real country. I was like, ain't no like body to kiss, but there's this branch. Maybe this branch is the materials. And it's like, I'd rather have that. Okay. That's very interesting. Connected to spirit, possibly. Now, and spirit said no. Okay. Now, the spiritual connection or the marriage that is at hand, I feel like somebody don't want it. It's like I've had enough of that. It could also be someone who's divorced. A partner that may be, away for one reason or the other. And your geographical location was kind of interesting. Some of you, if it's international, it points to Chile, I believe, Santiago. As far as a just an intuitive where is meeting in the middle. That's funny. Nobody else had that. People had mountains, valleys, in the city. Somebody had, one group had at the airport, on a cruise. You guys, your answer is literally meeting in the middle. That is something. And I do hope that it helps. For you, group S, okay, you got S1. We will get to your geographical location in just a moment. Your channeled message is Spirit say is fleeting, because I got it and I was like, oh, okay, let's start. It was over here. Let me see. Okay, got it. Now there's a test. Testing loyalty may come up. That may be significant for some of you. The tarot cards that you have, we're going to go over that real quick. You got the 3 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. I love this little bird because for some of you, crows near an interstate, or something about crows, even though this isn't a crow, I think looking at the tail, it's a hawk. Okay. A social event, a joyful person, someone who likes to celebrate. They'll start off like a supportive friend, and they're connected to the community. So I think that that's kind of cool. Now, common spaces where this person would frequent would be like village squares, festival towns, riverside communities, lakes, rivers, or coastal towns. Internationally, the south of France, province to be specific, and Tuscany in Italy. So coastal Spain as well. Now, for natural sites, vineyards, orchids, gardens, places for gathering and celebration is really big. This person may be wealthy. And I think them testing the loyalty may have something to do with whatever, you know what I mean? Because they got more to lose than most. But they're very committed. You also have them being hardworking. So if they're not wealthy because somebody gave it to them, it just says that they work really hard. And they're sometimes carrying a lot of responsibility. So that's just a heads up for the relationship, because sometimes we think about love and marriage and it's like, it's all about me, it's all about us, this is going to be great. But this is a very responsible person, resourceful. Okay, Spirit's a very resourceful person that has strong ties to, hard work or community. So there are just some other things. Spirit's like, don't say that. Okay, shut up. Try to take back those last 5 words. Okay. the challenge here, I feel like, is the meetup. That's funny. Spirit said the meetup. So do you not get out much, or do you not have bright eye for luxury? That could be it. Well, things may change. You could receive an invite to a place or go to an event and you cross paths. So it could be just like a one-off for you, but something frequent for this person. You have the Knight of Pentacles with the 7 wands. I thought that was kind of cool. The 7 wands with the Knight of Pentacles, because one is like the test. And like I said, the test of possibly one's loyalty. It also talks about new beginnings and opportunities. So I kind of think that that's pretty cool too. This relationship is highly motivated and full of potential. And I feel like there's a test because, don't get discouraged, but they may have multiple suitors, you or them. So it's like these tests are necessary. Okay. But this isn't the type of person that is going to be impulsive, shady, or toxic or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. I think that that's cool. Now for the location, you guys have like rocky plains, like Montana, which is kind of cool. And then the surrounding areas. This Billings has like this Crow Industrial Resource Place or something like that. So it caught my eye first, and I thought that was very interesting. The second part that caught my eye was Sheridan. And I thought about a name like Sheldon or something like that. Um, you have Buffalo, but it's not Buffalo, New York. So be cool. And then there was also Yellowstone National Park. So for some of you, it's a gathering um in a in an area like that. It doesn't have to be like a club or a bar. It's just a place where a lot of people go, to do things. And so I think that that's pretty cool. Where it's pointing to that earth energy. You do have the King of Pentacles, so it may be an earth sign. It doesn't have to be. And in case you get any nudges or see any names, here's your card. Okay, T, my selection T. I got to keep these cards cut like this because it's so crazy. We will get to your geographical location in un momento. Okay, there is your card and your letter. You get channel messages. We're also going to go over the tarot interpretation, which I think is hilarious. Okay. You might not laugh, but I thought it was very interesting. And I'm looking at, this little directory here. That's something interesting. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Okay. Let me put this down. Okay. So don't click off. All right. Because I was like, when I say this, I don't know how they're going to take it. But I haven't had to say this all day. You guys are the first group where it's like your person or you could be currently in a marriage. All right, that's very interesting. So if you're watching this and you're married, you're with a person that is perfect for you, but it's challenging. You guys match because I got the Queen of Wands too when I got this King of Wands, and so I thought that was interesting. But there's some sort of conflict, challenges, arguments, or just the energy is kind of like off. That's for those of you that are in a current marriage. Okay. Now, for others of you, this person or you may be involved energetically, spiritually, like it's somebody you like and you haven't met this person yet, or they're with the person, or something like that. Where you are a more appropriate partner for them, where someone else seemed to be, to fit the bill. That's what Spirit said. You're more appropriate as for what they're looking for. Someone who's supportive and, catering a little bit, and not someone who is like very direct and challenging them, as far as like for power and dominance or whatever. They like that because they wouldn't have had the partners that they've had. However, it's the way that the Queen of Wands does it that benefits the King of Wands. She's not very restrictive. She know what she doing. That's all I can say, because I ain't trying to give away the game. But yeah, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to get things done without making somebody do it. So the Five of Pentacles, you got the Three of Swords and the King of Wands. Okay. It's unorthodox and not traditional. It's not the norm for you or this person. And it also talks about the possible entrepreneurs that may have challenges with past abandonment issues or lack of resources. So emotional or material, they fear, either not having that, so they work really, really hard, or not being able to provide as much. But this is like the card for a good husband. You know how they say, he's a good man, Savannah, right? That type deal. But there's some issues. Okay. Because I saw this as like Five Swords, but it's like Five Sword energy, but it's connected to the Five of Pentacles. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, not interesting, but sort of. Okay. Now, another thing, where past wounds and being like really, really sensitive, may be the topic. This person, I feel like, has traveled Eastern Europe, the UK, and Baltic regions. You guys are the first to get that area, so that's very interesting. They're bold and charismatic and prefers to be in warmer climates. So that's kind of cool. Now, if they've been isolated, that's the challenge. Where they're isolated due to past heartbreak, could be you. So Spirit is like, no, they've had someone cold and aloof in the past or a narcissist, and they're the prize. They're good at you know, catering. They do all that stuff I was just talking about, and they need a partner that's better for them. I don't think they even care about the money. Know that everything that you need is inside. Okay, that's good for you and it's good for your partner to know. Now, someone who thrives in heated climates but reside in northern or cold remote valleys, that could be problematic. Okay. So just, I don't know where you're located or where they're located right now outside of these regions. Now, for some of you, this may be an area surrounded by water. So like an island, a coastline, or a town or city that has a significant amount of water, like river, lake. For my intercontinental baddies, Scotland could be significant for you. If there is a connection by culture, Spirit is like, yeah. The Hebrides Islands. I think I pronounced that right. And so there's a list of them. And then that's funny because I was looking inside and nobody else had this either. There's a list. So it's like there's a list of them. That's crazy. So I'm just going to open this up so you can take a little screenshot, see what you can see. There could be some names, some numbers, numerology. You know how they do it. In the Matrix, they got to slide the clues in, right? So there's that. And then this is what you guys had on the other side. But that's very interesting. One of a kind message for you. T's. Okay. So cross your T's. Look, and then the one flipped over, like, yeah, this is the one. Or split. It's split. Are you gonna open up your heart and get it though? Okay, you won. We're gonna get to your geographical location and channel messages, and we're gonna pull from tarot. Just briefly, the readings are pretty short, so you don't have to like skip ahead and get a little antsy or whatever. I did shuffle them and I spread them out. So you are safe. All right. They split there and they got a story to tell us. So I'm going to listen. I love that the Knight of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Dogs are very loyal. Okay. And I love the beat of the drum, the heartbeat. Oh, look, I was going to say following the heart. Check that out. Okay. Spirit said, don't say nothing. All right. I won't say nothing. Okay. So the Knight of Cups does do that. One of y'all, because now I don't even just want to blame that person. This is an abundance of love. Okay. Way more than enough. Someone is very lucky and likes to move fast in love, I believe. My spirit said 3 seasons. Okay, I heard it. What is it? 2 seasons? Okay, 3 seasons. But yeah, they have so much to give. Like so many relationships they've tried to manifest in the past, they have so much love to give, child. And I feel like the tides change for them through you because maybe you lovey-dovey, kind of like, are you? Spirit say yes. Okay, that's a good thing. Because they got so much. And then people be like drunk in love type deal. All right. The 4 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, 4 cups, 7 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. It's a lot of water and then a little land. Okay. That talks about a lot of emotion. And then the funny thing is in the 2 of Pentacles, there's also turbulence in water in some of the tarot cards. So it's like either we're gaining momentum or we're drowning. And I feel like that's this person's like love language or like issue. And is it their love language? Okay, cool. Now, as far as when and where, okay, there's something significant about like the 7 year phase for you. It's a transit. So you have to check your natal chart. It's not 7 years from today, but the number seven could be very significant. And I feel like it's going to be a season where, 3 seasons. So let's see. We start off with winter, spring, summer. Oh, okay. Thank you, Spirit. So it could be summertime. Um, I also feel like there's a connection to seclusion, like lakesides, gardens, and meditation. You guys are the first group to literally get a garden. So that may be real significant. Places where you can reflect because they want to be romantic or whatever. Very dreamy, very imaginative, and sometimes indecisive. Okay, so just be mindful of that. But it also just points to lakes, deltas, dreamlike landscapes, and foggy coasts. So like misty, mysterious kind of areas. And I know it's a lot of those in Louisiana, or wherever you are, because they have Scotland, Ireland, and Norway too, if you're one of my international babes, okay? But rivers, deltas, foggy banks may be significant. You guys are deeply connected through, I feel like, stillness. So you'll gain a lot of introspective, or contemplative energy together. Um, if someone is emotionally withdrawn, I mean, because it's you asked spirit. I didn't say I should have. Spirit, give me the best marriage or the happiest. You know what I'm saying? But for some of you, it's like I guess there's a little bit of hesitance here from me because somebody don't really want all that. It's like someone with abandonment issues that hasn't fully healed and they're trying to like get it out through love and then causing confusion in a situation because of needing like constant, what is that, you know how they need to constantly know what are we and what is this and all that. And I think they refuse to see that they're that way. Oh my gosh, I know a person like that. Sweet as pie. Wasn't for me, but I do think like he got married like after, years after we dated or whatever. I don't know what his wife is going through, but that's not my business. So there could be a situation, and your group is the first group where I said that, like, where you literally do, marry this person, but it's like a lot. So now for my international baddies, okay, Japan was very strong, so there could be like Japanese or Asian descent involved. And if you say I ain't met nobody like that, that's because we're talking about your fortune possibly in the future. And our future always changes based on the choices that we make. Okay. Now, what I thought was cool was if you're into traveling and you want to try something new now or in a couple of years, they are building all those smart cities over there and like real cool places. So don't knock it. Don't knock the idea. It's just after you fall in love, um, I don't know if the love bombs are gonna be your thing. So yeah. Okay, V. You have the number 4, and I see why. Your geographical location. We are gonna get to, and I'm gonna go over your tarot cards really quick. So these are short reads. You don't have to skip through. Just listen to it. You may like this. I asked Spirit when I saw your cards. I said, they like money. They want some money. You need some, even if you feel like you're independent and you got it, honey. This marriage, this relationship, this person comes along with aid. They help. They themselves are very structured and stable. Okay. This individual could be high ranking in like a manager, CEO, or an entrepreneur who oversees multiple projects. They could work in the realm of real estate or accounting, something complex, with portfolios or whatnot. Juggling operations and staff. So they work with a lot of people, and that talks about just having respect and, they're responsible. Now, this person is very strategic and may want to help with lifting a heavy burden. Because I was like, who's burdened? I feel like it's you, or you got a lot going on. You take care of a lot and may have sacrificed, some aspects of where you saw yourself and what you wanted to do for others. So this person comes along to help you expand. They're good with foresight and planning for the future. So that's how I think that is a good love language, actually. Like, I invest in who I see a future with. And because they'll see a future with you, they're open to investing. They look beyond the present moment, so they won't judge if you feel like you're not ready, or you guys are like really different. They don't do that. Okay. Preparing to take the next steps, waiting for results from efforts already put in. Those of you sneaking in here that already met somebody or could be in a relationship, that's where we have it. But you got two strong energies. So it's like that you being in here right now is part of it. Spirit's like, don't say that. I love you. Okay, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see other messages too. But it's like two strong energies. There could be multiple people involved in a situation also, where there's a strong connection to a very stubborn spiritual partner. And then there's also the physical partner that is going to show you in the present moment in the physical by being supportive. Now, I don't know if the other person was more of a burden. Okay. And we had a fork in the road when this situation comes up. Or you could have nobody right now. And because it's possibly a future event, there's someone. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we settled for someone we fell in love with, whatever the case. And then someone else who's more strategic that is in alignment with productivity and stability. Okay. You had all these additional cards, but I feel like that more so told me the story of it's only up from here type of energy for someone that is just tired, like physically laboring. I also feel like family could be a thing, like breaking generational issues. And support is big for you, because actually, if you're not doing nothing for me, I don't even see, for some people feel like that. I think the person that could have, it's either or. Like, the old person comes back to be supportive because the relationships you chose were like, and they saved the day. If you're dealing with hometown loves, childhood sweethearts, and all that kind of stuff, this person is like really different from that. Now, where you'll meet is dun, 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 dun. It is a breathtaking tourist attraction. It doesn't have to be a particular country. Spirit said don't focus on that. Even though if you want to take a look at it, you can screenshot it. But when I intuitively looked at front and back, the location is known for its breathtaking tourist, whatever. So if you say, well, what place is that? It don't have to be the place that you see, but it's how do I want to pronounce it correctly? Lithuania, and not Lithuania, Georgia. Okay, by the way, this is in Europe, so it's Lithuania, and I hope that helps. Okay, for my group W's. All right, you also got the number 4, and we will get to your location in un momento. I also have your tarot cards shuffled out. And at the bottom of the deck, you literally have the marriage card. I love that. Okay, now, love it, love it, love it. You have 8 wands. So distance may be involved. It also talks about messages and things happening swiftly, being swept off your feet and getting carried away. I do love that. That's the chandelier card. So Spirit was like, don't forget, talk about the luxuries and stuff, because she is beautiful, looking in the mirror. Okay. It was also important to see through the veil. So when I heard that, right, your channeled message, I felt like it was one of those opportune times, like portals, like 8, 11, 11, things of that nature. And you actually got 22. So that's your master number 22. The Queen of Pentacles here is so beautiful. And she's not normally known for that. So this is like really taking care of yourself, or someone who really wants to take care of you, because I saw that they may have like a Knight of Cups kind of energy, and that's their love language, to, defend their honor by doing what the best for you. The Queen of Pentacles, Two Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. I do like that because these are both about seeing, and then she's looking. Okay, so I don't know. It could be deceive is significant for some of you, the letter C, but seeing and looking. So taking a look in the mirror. Maybe you guys mirror each other. This might be the first twin flame conversation. I don't think we had any twin flame talk. If so, it was like briefly mentioned. So you guys could, W may be for the win, child. Okay. A caretaker, a nurturing energy, very practical, very supportive, very loyal, thoughtful. May avoid confrontations, and that, we delay making decisions so we don't be confrontational, and kind of guarded in that way. Seeking balance before committing, which is okay. All right, because y'all may be seeing each other, and it's not finalized right off at first. But I do like that this is a very fertile energy, and it definitely talks about like forks in the road. Okay, so you guys will meet each other during a timing like that. It also talks about trading hubs, and dynamic marketplaces. Okay, whatever that is, that could be online, that could be in person, whatever the case. Now, another magical thing, I think it was only one group that had a letter that matched an actual location. The first group. I don't want to spoiler alert. I'm like, you intuitively go wherever your soul take you. Okay. But for you guys, this person could be um conservative, you know, political, because it's a very serious state. I think, is this the one? Is this sort of, but Spirit said they not. Okay, they could just be from there. You have Washington. And what I thought was pretty cool was my eyes went straight to this. It's a square, but the way it's positioned, it looked like a triangle. So it's definitely within a designated area. That's crazy. Um, College for some of you, and for others of you, something about silver. Okay, so it's like, how do I put those together, child? Just keep looking for the signs. Okay, I'm going to do more of these readings as well, but we may use a different divination tool. So I thought that it was pretty cool. And Hillcrest Heights, for the rest of the groups, I did hold it up in case you got any other names, anything that stuck out and sparked a memory for you. You can just hit that little screenshot there or whatever. But I thought that was cool. You guys, it's only two of y'all so far where the letter actually matched, and I didn't set these up myself. They were shuffled out. And I didn't pick these together. It was, shuffled for each one. So I just wanted to stress how that's super cool. So I love that for you. Okay, group X. You got the number 8. I love that. I jokingly said, is this gonna be my group where we talking about y'all exes? No, don't try to look. We're gonna get to it in just a second. I have to shuffle out your cards. And I'm kind of excited for you guys. Okay. That little part showed. I know somebody gonna zoom in and see it. That's crazy. So somebody got Nevada. I can't even hold water, but we're gonna talk about it. Whoa. Okay. I ain't mad at that. Spirit was like, that's it. Okay, why are they cut like this? That's all right. We're gonna work through it. Oh, because I said I was gonna do a spread. That was violent. But you got a green light. You got a yes. So who stayed from the last video to watch this one? Hold on. I just want to shuffle on Spirit. Gee whiz. I don't even got my really, really long nails on today. 1. Okay. 2. Keep pulling. 3. I just feel like that was violent. I ain't let that go. I'm gonna hold on to that. You got 6 wands. This is being chosen. So you one of my chosen ones. The needle in the haystack. Yes, indeed. Oh, look, how many frogs did you have to kiss, child? We got 8 pentacles too. So it does talk about work. Now, for some of you, I don't think it's a coworker. Oh, it could be. Now, don't say, "Oh, boo, I don't work," because I saw the frog looking up, and it was 3 pentacles in front of him. That's funny. Okay. So anyway, let's get to it. You guys have, however you want to look at it, I feel like there's going to be some moving, lots of moving, or that's significant. Oh, but look at this, you guys got the sea turtle, or not the sea turtle, damn it, the seahorse. They made for life. Yes, indeed. This is someone who's very decisive and almost impulsive. So if you into that, baby, they're gonna rock your world when they pull up and say, "This is what I want." Final answer type deal. And it's for life. Look at that one more time. Look at that. I love that. And I think you got the 6 of Wands because it is a celebratory energy. They got their flags raised, child. Everybody does. Okay. So you'll have to move to get to this person, or they're gonna move to get to you. Okay, but it's definitely some movement. A lot of movement there. I like the Knight of Swords. You got the High Joker, okay? And you also got the 10 of Wands. I know another group got the Low Joker, and I'll spoiler alert, another group got 2 Jokers. But you getting the high one is pretty dope. Very bold, very ambitious, very direct. Now for some of you, there's a windy region. So we'll see if it's on your little card that's associated with it. Speed and clarity is significant. So a fast paced, like high moving area, which I already blurted out. That's crazy. Is there too. Very exciting and spontaneous, very free spirited, wild and untamed child. But they're also hardworking and diligent. If they get burdened by responsibilities, they're gonna be like, okay, let's go do something. And I love that for you guys. Okay. Now for your location, I laughed because I blurted out Nevada. Okay, I love Vegas. Yeah, I'll probably get married in Vegas or something. But you also have Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and for the first time all night or day, whenever you see this, California was on here. And he's like, well, girl, why we care about California? I don't know, because I'm here. And I just wonder when some places I knew was going to come up. Anyway, Wyoming is here as well. So westerny sort of region may have a significance to your person, their background, or literally where you guys meet. But I thought it was super dope. So, I mean, don't sleep on finding your life partner in some fast-paced, spontaneous space like Vegas. It's not traditional, but that's how it's going to go for some of you. Okay, for my group Y, you also have the number 4, and we will get to your geographical location in un momento. Everybody got tarot cards, and we're also going to do a channeled message. I'm just excited to get to that part, but don't feel like you have to rush ahead. The readings are very short for each group, and I don't want you to miss anything. You can sit like 2 or 3 minutes right quick. Okay, so we'll shuffle them up, and then I'll do a spread. We're going to take 3, but some people got more. This is good. Hold on. Okay, there's that more. So there we go. Okay. Somebody's sitting there. It's like, change your thinking. All right. Don't limit yourself in this situation. Whatever you just thought or said out loud as we were shuffling. Okay. And both of you, I feel like, have left or you guys are leaving. I don't want to say toxic situations. I can think of better words than that. They're unfavorable. Okay. Unhealthy environments or perspectives of ourselves. And so that's amazing, which is why dead in the center, you got a green light, the big green flag energy. You guys are the first group where I've said that, but very much so green flag or green light. What do they call it? I don't even know what they call it. I'm trying to be cool. This is new. This is not a person of the past. And you or them have gone back and forth with, is it them? Is it them? Should I stay single, or, go back, or, focus on me? And it was the focusing on me, and the spiritual path, or the road less, the what did I say? The path less taken, or whatever. It leads you to the engagement. The engagement could be the place where you meet, or an actual engagement. And I feel like you guys are going to be building memories together. I also feel like I got to bite my words, because for some of you, you going off to mind your business brings a person from the past back, because this is very nostalgic and it could point to hometowns and past loves. But you still got to go off and mind your business first. Ain't that something? It's like, ain't nobody got time for that, sitting there playing them kind of games. 3 wands, ace of wands, 6 cups. Not bad. It does talk about growth. So if this is if you're spinning the block on somebody, it still took personal growth and literally not focusing on the yay or the nay in this situation, but just moving forward, because that's all you could do. Now, they're very strategic, and their archetype is of a planner or an explorer. It could even be this person that just decided to go off and do something else, and that's how you guys meet. You don't meet them how other people met them. So you get an energetic, like passionate person. You also get like sparks and a new beginning. So that's why it felt so new. But for some of you, it could be like the old thing. Okay, I don't want to take that away from y'all. Now, as far as location, for a lot of you, it's a town, a historic town, a village, or a peaceful garden. The second group to get garden. I just told the other group, I was like, y'all the only one that got garden. And literally, here we go. Now, for international, we have this. Well, yeah, it would be the same kind of like. So it could be some of you that watched that video where we talked about Prague, province, and Kyoto, or something like that. But for my locals, right? It's like I ain't traveling the world looking for this person, and hopefully they find me. It is a coastal town, and I know like Eureka is coastal. Well, I mean it is, but it isn't. It's like the towns that have ports. So like Galveston, Eureka, anywhere along, Florida, we got all that water. Parts of Texas. So I think that that's super cool. But they're very ambitious, or you guys grow together through that energy. And the bonus card here is this wish fulfillment. It's contentment, happiness. This is like, you make me happy. I'm cool with this. I'm locked in. This is what we're doing. Okay. Or you fall in love with this new aspect. But I feel like it's a wish fulfillment, and you get the wish fulfillment because you went off to mind your business. Okay. Now for the location. Oh, this was what was funny. Now, I said, Spirit, when I tell these people that Madagascar came to me in Somalia, if you guys aren't any of my international subscribers, you're going to feel like, oh, bummer. Don't be. Because we also have Kenya too. But I had never met personally any Somalians in my life. And then one year, a course of 2 to 3 years, because I was a part of a project, and I met a lot of people through the project, and I met so many Somalians. I met a Somalian that was from Canada, another one that was in the Midwest. I think she was a model on Instagram too. So when you hear some of these places that you haven't been, keep in mind that this is a melting pot in the US. And so these people could be from other regions or have a connection to them. But yeah, Madagascar and Somalia came up for you, group Y. And I do hope that it helps. All right, for my group Z, you also have the number 10. And we will get to your location in just a momento. All right. The cards that came out for you is one of my favorites. This cute little cutie. The Knight of Cups is very direct. Their heart is guiding them to you. I feel like you or they are like master manifester. And this is going to happen unanimously. Is that like all at once? Like all the things that you've worked to manifest, the thoughts and ideas that you've had, they come together, and I feel like you're mastering it and working diligently at it. Okay. Which is so super cool. Now, the Knight of Cups with the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles kind of point to like an energy of wanting to work it through. Like this person is very content and confident, but emotionally mature and generous. So they'll always like want to work things through with you. They would like places of leisure and abundance, retreats, and things of that nature for enjoyment and contentment, of course. Also, like vineyards, gardens, spaces of enjoyment. So they really like that. Very dreamy, but also a visionary. So, lakes, dreamlike landscapes, and places of encouraging reflection and imagination. Now, what I love most about this, and we're going to get to it in just a second, is that it is connected to your location. So that is super sweet. They're a seeker, they're a traveler. Okay, so they may find you, child, if you feel like you ain't getting on no ferries anytime soon. Scandinavian came up, and Europe. So some may have intercontinental or racial backgrounds, interracial spaces of passage and moving on. So little trinkets like that, if you are into traveling, and if you're not, maybe you will get interested, because it made me think about all those cute little videos and posts that you see online that have like the colorful skies and the igloo Airbnbs and all that kind of stuff. And you'd be like, I want to go to one of those places one day, right? Well, you're gonna trip out when you see that. Um, this is victory, this is rest, this is recovery. So I feel like some of you, this happens like after all of the, I don't even know what to call it. After all of those things, okay, you finally have a place of rest. So this, if you've been married like a few times or zero times, this is just like the one, which is cool, because some people get married multiple times in their lifetime. And we don't know who's sitting in the audience right now, right? Now, for your location, I thought that it was super cool that you guys had Sweden, which so many celebrities and normal folk just go there to relax. They retire there because it's peaceful, it's the frequency, it's the energy. So if you've ever said something like that, like you're just gonna go some random place where you need a passport and a visa, you very well could meet your partner there. Now, another thing I thought about was Finland and all of the posts that I've seen online about how beautiful it is there. So I thought that that was crazy. So for some of you, it's like a retreat. It's a vacation. It's something different. And your person could just be from there. So that's kind of interesting. Or maybe that's something that brings you guys together when you talk up and dream up something that you can work toward. Like it's a dream that you're working toward, that matters a lot to you. And since you guys are so passionate and loving and emotional, your manifestation abilities are a little bit stronger, than the average Joe. So there's that. Now for my mystery group, I literally grabbed, look at this, my blue sacred geometry cards. And I said, I'm also going to get these, excuse me, lovely little personalized playing cards. Okay, I have to say that. And I said the blue and the green reminded me of like the heart and the throat chakra. And I got all these weird things going on in my throat. Okay. But then I cut the cards and there's literally the heart chakra. So I said, we're going to do an energy, what Spirit said, we're going to do an energy read for our mystery group. And lo and behold, here we are. So here you guys go. The question mark. What is it all about? Well, we are going to see. So Spirit, what do we have here? Ooh, I like 34. And I also like passion because I love sevens. Okay. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So let's see what you, I'm so silly. Let's see what you get filled up with, y'all. You got the Divine Feminine card, Presence, the third chakra. The solar plexus came up in my shuffle. That's crazy. So this does talk about the soul, like deeply. I think for those, Spirit, you funny. This is, can I say that? I can't say that. Okay. Well, what I feel, okay, is that it's an energy. The divine feminine supports our soft, receptive, and nurturing side, facilitating our intuition and intrinsic understanding of our connection to the cosmos. I feel like your soulmate is like literally a soul connection. It's like your higher self or whatever belief system you have being connected to the essence or the presence of that energy, which is beautiful. Okay. The energy of presence supports our ability to focus our full attention and stay in the here and now. So the divine feminine giving us advice toward your future marriage or your person or whatever. Presence means that we could be having some challenges with getting our emotions and our thought out of the past. Okay. So what's going to help us with that? The solar plexus helps us, okay, to realize who we are and who we want to be. So I feel like it happens a lot because, I'm a coach. I'll be coaching, right? And sometimes when we're attracting certain things and we don't want those things, but it's like, why am I attracting them? We do have to change our frequency, our thoughts, or who we are a little bit to be more in alignment with who we see. Because sometimes who we think we are and what we see in ourselves ain't happening in reality, and it happens like that. It could be the natal aspect or whatever it is. All right. It's like who you are deep down inside. That life may not be present or presenting itself to you right now. So how do we do that? Willpower. And it also talks about awareness because you'd be surprised how many people wouldn't appreciate that honesty. Like, what do you mean? I ain't ready or I need to do something first. Okay, you don't, Kojak. Cool. Do your thing. But the card says the energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of multidimensional worlds so that we create, look at that, create the reality. That is super cool. Realize who we are and who we want to be and then create that reality. That is spirit speaking. Whoop. And then this comes back out. Oh my God. So you have soulmate. You literally still got it though. So if you pick this one and said, oh man, I'm gonna go back and pick another one, you better not. You got soulmate, best friend, loving, kind, creative. You also have choices, luck, love, happy family, and you're being asked to stay proactive and complete things. Finish it, whatever you're trying to manifest, see it through. Okay. Because sometimes indecisiveness could slow it down. So let's get a card about marriage. Look, spirit already there. Let's see. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. All right. Feed your spiritual side. Okay. Mild dissatisfaction. I don't think that's for you because I had to turn my neck and this card around, but I did see feed your spiritual side. And this is a positive money card. And I already felt Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is definitely something spirit would say, feed your spiritual side to move out of that energy. It's not about money. It's not about resources. It's not about your religious beliefs. It's not about being indifferent with others because of your belief systems, because you know that you're all of that. And other people be trying to tell you delusional. Take leadership. Take leadership. And then some of you here, it is literally just about money. Like you want to marry somebody rich, you want somebody to take care of you, or you have, some sort of issue in how you can be supportive and what you have to offer. So that's interesting because they line right up like that. Hard work pays off, baby. That's what Spirit said. So I feel like you and your future marriage or your relationship is dependent on the now you or the future you, those are your choices. So yeah, I like it. Spirit says choose stability. so that you can have a reason to celebrate. Super cute.